Hi, welcome to Take a Break, Take a Breath for Monday, March 15th. I'm Rick Boyer, the pastor of Prospect Presbyterian Church, and Take a Break, Take a Breath is an invitation for you to pause in your day, to stop all of the activity and just sit for a few minutes quietly, no more than 10 or 12 at most, and to center yourself in God who made you and loves you and knows you even better than you know yourself. So we've been reading our way through the Psalms, and today we are up to Psalm 149. There's only two left, this one and one more. Psalm 149 is a psalm of praise, is part of that closing collection of praise psalms, and this one parallels or matches Psalm 2 in that both of them have a concern about the wicked and meaning those who have turned away from God. Psalm 2 anticipates the theme of, the theological theme of the Psalms, and Psalm 149 goes back and recalls it. And here's what is anticipated and recalled: that God is sovereign over all things. Psalm 149 is wrestling with the idea of the fact that the kingdom, the monarchy has come to an end. The day the Davidic kingdom has come to an end, that's all over. It is no more. So in Psalm 149, as the interpreter that I've been using suggests, the role of the king to bring justice is now transferred to the people in partnership with God. God is now the ruler, but the people are those who are called to help carry out that justice, to help embody it and live into it. There are some disturbing verses. Verses 6 to 9 are a little tough for us in our day. And if we read them in that light and remember that vengeance is not vengeance in the way we think of it, but it is always moving toward justice, and punishment is always moving toward, as we hope our prison system was supposed to do, but it does not, to bring about rehabilitation or renewal. So the verse that I chose to focus on is actually verse 4. For the Lord takes pleasure in God's people. God adorns the humble with victory. So if you haven't already done so, I invite you to go to a quiet place in your house and close the door, if it has a door, in that room. Settle into a chair and relax. Feel the support of the chair on the back of your legs and on your back. If it has arms, feel the support of the chair as the arms support your arms. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. As you breathe in the presence of God. And as you breathe out all that separates you from God. As you breathe in the breath of life. And as you breathe out all that does not give you life. As you breathe in God's peace. And as you breathe out all of the things that are cause for worry and anxiety and fear, all of your stresses and strains. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. And imagine that the peace of God, the relaxation that comes from being in God's presence, from being in the presence of one who knows you better than you know yourself, is growing and spreading Perhaps imagine it like sitting in a sauna that brings relaxation. Now, I'm not usually a fan of a sauna, but let's just imagine that as different places in our body get really warm, they are relaxed and calm. Maybe let's start with our face. And as it gets really warm, the muscles all begin to relax. And if our jaw was clenched, it opens. We smile to ourselves when it happens. And as our head gets warm, our mind is calmed. And as our neck gets warm, the muscles in our neck get soft instead of tight. As our shoulders and arms and hands get warm, the muscles in our shoulders relax, and the muscles in our arms, just let our arms drop. As the warmth comes to our chest, the hot air breathing in and out relaxes our lungs, and we continue to breathe deeply. And our heart slows to a resting pace. And our stomach relaxes and becomes calm. The muscles in our back become soft, and knots that were there are untangled. The muscles in our legs and our feet all relax. Just as the steam fills the sauna, so God's peace fills you. And then, in your mind's eye, go to a place of worship. It could be a sanctuary, a church. It could be an outdoor chapel. It could be a college chapel that you hold dear, or a family church. It's empty, but you're able to get in. And when you go in, you look around, or when you sit in the outdoor chapel, you look around. Notice the colors in the room or in the space. Notice the light. Notice how the space lifts you into God's presence. And feel yourself being pulled up into God's presence. Find yourself in the presence of God, and it is as if you have been lifted into God's presence. Did you know that you are in the presence of unconditional, unbounded love? And in your heart, you hear God invite you to talk. and so you do. What will you offer God praise for? What calls that God is offering you are you struggling with? What tasks? The two of you have a chance to talk about those things, and I'll be quiet while you do. And then the time comes for the conversation to end. And you know that you are now again sitting in that place of worship. And you let that image fade away. And you bring yourself back to the room where you are. And when you are ready, open your eyes. That's Take a Break, Take a Breath for Monday, March 15th. If you have feedback for me or you want to pray or talk with me, send an email to rick@prospectchurch.org.